Harley Queene, and today I'm going to do a makeup tutorial to show you how to achieve this look. This look is particularly hard. I don't think any of my looks are particularly hard to achieve. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is prime my face. So I've already removed all my makeup. I left my eyebrows on, or what's left of them, for the sake of not shaving them off again. If you have natural eyebrows, I think that this tutorial is still achievable for you because I'm gonna end up putting some of the darkest eyeshadow over where my eyebrows already are. So this is my primer. It is the Benefit Pore-fessional. So I'm just gonna put a drop of that on my finger and rub it into my face, just about everywhere, but with a focus on the T-zone. All right. So next I'm going to cover my blemishes or any particularly red spots that I have on my face. This is pretty much an optional step. If you don't have acne and you're just blessed like that, then you don't really have to do this. But I'm going to take a little flat concealer brush and I'm going to use some green cream. All my makeup is pretty ratchet and down to the pan. I'm going to use some green cover up cream, and I'm just gonna cover all of my problem areas. So right under my nose specifically, I have quite a bit of acne. I have a cat scratch on my cheek, and I have a cut from where I shaved my eyebrows last time. There we go. All right, so next step is going to be the first layer of foundation. So I have two beauty blenders. I have one for darks and one's for lights because I find that I go through them too quickly when my darks and my lights mix. So I'm gonna take my light one and my FitMe foundation, and I'm just gonna put some on the beauty blender and go to town on my face. So this doesn't have to be a very thick layer because we will be adding more foundation after. All right, so now we're gonna go right away and do the eyes. Another optional step is putting eyelash primer. If you're performing in a show, this will help the makeup just stay on your face for the entire show because chances are pretty good that you'll sweat, you'll dance it right off. So I'm just gonna hold my eyelid down and cover it with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. And since our eyeshadow will be going very high, you might as well cover your eyebrows too. I'm going to be doing the white. That's going to go from the inside of the eye all the way up. So that's gonna be almost all the way up to our eyebrows. I'm gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hill's highlighter, the third one. There's barely any left. And I'm gonna use the same brush that I did for my color correction, so this tiny little white brush. And I'm just going to start from the inner corner and go all the way up through my crease as high as you pretty much want your eyeshadow to end. So the eyeshadow is going to be going up from here and not down. Perfect. So I like to next just go right into the eyeliner because I find that that really is the structure. It's easier to do it if you don't already have all your eyeshadow on. It's easier to get them even. So I use Kat Von D tattoo liner, but if you're going to be doing this very often, like at least once a week, I would recommend getting something that's a little bit more long lasting because the Kat Von D liner is $25 at Sephora and it doesn't last me very long just because of the extent and the amount of ink that I use every time that I do my eyeliner for drag shows. So I tried out the Stila liner and so far it's been lasting me a lot longer. It's the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. And what you're going to do for this is you're going to start much higher than you would typically think that the end of your wing would be, because since we're girls trying to look like drag queens, we don't just want to look like women with slightly more exaggerated makeup. We want to really create the illusion that we have a different face than what our face would typically be. So you're gonna go much higher than you would expect. So I'm gonna start probably right here near my eyebrow. I'm just gonna do a straight line all the way down. Perfect, very extra. And then I'm gonna start from the top and I'm gonna do a little swoop all the way over. And then once I get this like big black thing here, I like to just connect from the tip of my eye all the way up. There we go. And then we fill it in. All right, so now I'm gonna go again just a little bit higher, create a little bit more thickness. Keep going even higher if you'd like. It depends how exaggerated you want it to be. I'm just gonna smooth this out. That is gorgeous. Oh my god. Gorgeous. So again, very high, straight line. Sorry, I need to cough. I just made too much again. And then your little swoop, and then down to the bottom of your eye, and just connect the dots. There we go. Fill it in. Here, make it a little bit thicker. Now we have a kind of like Batman look going on. And then I'm going to set it with black eyeshadow. Just whatever black eyeshadow you want. The darker the better. I have a flat brush that I use specifically for my black eyeshadow because I find that it gets my other brushes too dirty if I don't use a specific brush just for this. So you're just going to cover everything you did in black and set it just so that blink and stuff when you do your big exaggerated eyes in your show, it doesn't come off. The wing part is a little bit less important for this. I like to just cover mostly the part of my eye that's like all wrinkly. And other side. So now that our eyeliner is all... You got that, I'm fucking done this before, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Now that our eyeliner is all done, let's do the first little bit of our eyeshadow. So, as you can see, the white is a little bit too low. So before we go right into that, I'm just gonna go over the white one more time and make it even higher. I do think that higher is better because it gives us, there we go, right up to the eyebrow. So now if we have natural eyebrows, we can put some nice dark eyeshadow over it and we won't be able to tell that our whole face is fake. Gorgeous. Alright, so next we are going to do our first little bit of eyeshadow. So the color scheme that I used when I did this look was pretty dark. It was blues and they were all relatively dark. So I'm using my Jeffree Star palette for the most metallic blue, which is this one. Expensive is the name of it. And so you're gonna take a flat brush and make sure it's really flat because you want your line to be nice and fine. And just gently brush it into the palette And you're just gonna outline very gently the white. Don't go all the way down just yet. Just very gently outline the white. Beautiful. Go over it again. Come a little bit lower this time. Beautiful. Other eye. Make sure that on the bridge of the inner nose, we are going very lightly so that it's not just one harsh dark line and it's harsh and then gets a little bit more blended in. Now I'm going to take a very dark blue. It's going to be from my Smashbox, the literal box palette, and it's going to be that dark blue right there. I'm going to use my darks brush that I showed earlier. Just wipe off some of the black and then pinch it so that it's nice and flat. Go into the dark blue and just outline right underneath with a little bit of overlap. Beautiful. These two colors really complement each other. There we go. So as you can see, these darker blues are covering my eyebrows. So it's not going to be very obvious that I have a few eyebrow hairs left and that I didn't freshly shave them. I'm going to take same brush again, use my black, and I'm going to do just very light touches over the dark blue. Very, very light. Very gently to the bridge of the nose. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now I'm going to take a light blue. This is Technic. It's an eyeshadow palette that I got for Christmas a couple years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was like $4 from IDA. And I'm going to take a medium blue, so this one, and I'm going to take a brush that's a bit more fluffy, so like an eyeshadow blending brush, and I'm just gonna swirl it around in the blue, go right up to the corner and blend that into the blue and the black that's already there. Just like this. Remember not to go all the way down right away. Side, same thing. All the way down very lightly. Very, very lightly. So I did it a bit heavier on this side, but that's okay, because we are gonna end up correcting our eyeliner to match it anyways. So next, what I'm gonna do before I correct my eyeliner to extend it a little higher is I'm gonna draw on my eyebrows. I shave my eyebrows off, so I have to draw them on every day, so my pencils get pretty short pretty quickly. But I am using this Rimmel eyebrow pencil, and I'm gonna start where I want my eyebrow to end and then a little bit earlier, and I'm just gonna lightly do an outline in case I mess it up. And then once I get a little higher, I'm gonna push harder and do a hook. There we go. Then I'm gonna go above the hook and turn it into a little triangle, just like this. So I'm right into my hairline, so you might not be able to see. The very edge is going to be the pointiest part, obviously. So you don't want to go over that little edge too many times or it's going to be thick and ugly. This is where you want to be pressing the hardest. There we go. Because you want your eyebrows to have a bit of an ombre effect. So push a little harder and just work your way down the brow. Once I have this important dark part all filled in, I'm gonna go down to the bottom and I'm just gonna lightly connect everything together. There we go, and then I'm gonna go even lower, still very light. There we go. And then I'm gonna fill it in, trying hard to create that ombre effect. Same thing on this side. So very lightly and then a dark hook. And make a dark triangle. I'm literally over my hair right now. So this one's gonna be less flaky than the other one, I can tell that right now. Connect the dots. Fill it in. Trying to angle it to go a little bit more down like the other one. So I have one eyebrow that ended up a little bit thicker than the other one. So I'm just gonna add a little bit to the other one just to make them a bit more even. I'm going to take my dark beauty blender and I'm just gonna very, very gently smudge the edges. Lovely. Next, I'm going to go back to my eyeshadow. So I'm gonna take a lighter blue, this very light sparkly blue right here with my fluffy brush. And I'm just going to go over what I've already done all the way up to the eyebrow, and it has this nice sparkly sheer effect that I really love about cheap eyeshadow palettes. They never really come out in there that's on here because they're so not pigmented, but the sheer really works. Other eye. Okay, now I'm gonna take my eyeliner pencil again and I'm gonna make my wings even bigger to compensate for the very big eyeshadow that I've just done. So I'm gonna go a little bit higher than what's already there and just connect it. Gorgeous. There we go. So now it matches a little bit more. We look very Batman. Okay, next, because we have blue going all the way up to our eyebrows, I'm going to take the same concealer that I used on the inside of my eyes. I'm going to take an angle brush and I'm just gonna put some right along the edge. And so this is what's gonna fleek out our eyebrows. We're gonna put it right underneath and just fleek them out with highlight. Gorgeous. All the way down. You don't want to put too much. You want it to be pretty light, but just enough so that you can have a clear distinction between where your eyeshadow ends and where your eyebrows start. Now that the eyeshadow is all done, I'm just gonna cover the accent colors with a little bit more of the eyeshadow powder. So I'm gonna take my metallic blue that I started with on a fluffy brush and I'm just gonna blend it out, make it a little bit bigger. Then I'm gonna take my dark blue and I'm gonna put just a tiny little bit on the fluffy brush. Very tiny amount, and I'm only gonna blend it into the corners. Step is going to be the glitter on the white, so the inner part right here. I use Too Faced glitter glue. This is the only one that actually has ever properly worked for me, so that's why I use it. And I'm going to take a flat brush. Then I'm going to get my white glitter, which is NYX Face and Body Glitter. I'm gonna put some on my brush and I'm gonna go over the glue. Now that the glitter's done, I'm going to take my dark brush again, make it really pointy, put it in the black, and do the same outline one last time. There we go. Next, what we're going to do is our contour. We're gonna go back for under the eyes after. I like to do all the skin makeup after I've done the top part of the eyes, because the bottom part of the eyes is really hard to not mess up when you're putting a bunch of highlight and contour and more foundation all over underneath. So for it to be really clean, I wait until that's all done. I'm gonna take my light beauty blender and my FitMe foundation again, and we're gonna do another layer of foundation. It can be a little bit more heavy when you apply this layer. Be careful around the eyebrows that you don't cover them. That's something that you could kind of do after, but that's why we did a layer before, just so that we don't have to worry about getting too close. I'm just gonna blend that all the way back into my beautiful white hair. All right, so next we're going to do contour. And I have a stencil. It's a piece of a notebook that I used for school that I just cut the front off and wrote "Shape Your Face" on it. So we are going to take now a dark foundation. So I have the darkest shade of FitMe. It's number 360, or at least it was the darkest one in my store. Maybe there's darker. And I'm gonna take my dark beauty blender and I'm gonna put the stencil where I want my cheekbone to end. So a common mistake that I've seen is people putting it at too much of an angle, so it's too low and then your contour goes down and it ruins that sculpted illusion. So what you want to do is you don't want to go any lower than your lip for sure. I like to go even higher and I put it nice and horizontal almost. On a bit of an angle because I don't want it to go too high over my cheekbone, but that's where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to put some of my dark foundation, put it at a slight angle. I'm going to start at the top and just work my way down, getting lighter and lighter towards the end. So heavy at the top and then light towards the bottom. That is sculpted. Blend that into my hairline. So once again, almost horizontal. I do not have enough foundation on this. Almost horizontal. and lighter towards the bottom. Maybe at the top and light towards the bottom. Oof. That is fierce. Blend it into my hair. Alright. And then for the forehead, I kind of just go to town. My hair really far back. And I go very heavy at the top. And I do not go all the way around because then it's going to mess up my eyebrow, which is already into my hairline. So just at the top, nice and horizontal. Whatever's left on my beauty blender gets slightly added onto the jaw because faux queens usually already have a very feminine jaw. Just a light. Oh, that's not very light, but whatever. So because I'm already very pale, I use a concealer as a base for my highlight. So if you look at queens like Roxy Andrews, for example, you can see that it's more than just glow on her natural skin tone. She actually lightens all the areas of her face before she puts the shine on. It's Kat Von D concealer in the lightest shade. So it is pure white. It has a little applicator like this, and I just do 2 swipes on my cheekbone. It spreads very easily, so you don't have to put too much. And then a little circle on my forehead. And then what's left, I'm gonna do a swipe down my nose. Take a little bit more if you want. So optional, like so optional. And do a Cupid's bow and a chin. Which, I don't know why I do it, it's just a habit. I never notice that it even makes my makeup any different. And then I'm gonna take my light beauty blender and blend the highlight very gently. All the way up into my hairline, all the way down under my eye, all the way up to my eyeliner. It's a little bit tricky not to touch anything that's already done, but just be very careful. Forehead, blend nose, Cupid's bow, and chin. Now I'm going to take my dark beauty blender and I'm going to blend up, being very careful not to touch this perfect line. I'm going to blend up the dark foundation into my concealer or my highlight. Very, very careful not to touch it. Same thing on the other side. I just very much love this sculpted look with lines that are very firm and visible. Alright, then I'm gonna take probably the cleanest part of my dark beauty blender and I'm just gonna swipe the edges a little bit so that it blends a little bit more flawlessly in it. I do another layer of foundation right underneath just so I can crisply clean up that line. Go a little bit above it on the end if it goes too far. Alright, next I'm going to take my dark beauty blender again and I'm going to blend all the way back into my hairline. I don't like to blend it too much because my wig cap is probably going to touch it a little bit and wipe it a little bit off, which is going to make it less powerful. So I just blend it slightly. I blend it out, so like around my eyebrows. Next we're gonna do underneath the jaw, just blend it down. Next I'm going to do my my blush, and I use Dollarama blush. It's available year-round, even though it's literally the most costumey blush I've ever seen. And I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. This color is way too dark and ridiculous, so I don't use it even in drag. I'm gonna use the second darkest color, which is a nice pink. And I'm gonna go up to where the dark contour is, and I'm just going to blend that in, careful not to cross this line here. Base of the highlight, which was the concealer. This is my tried and true highlight. It's from Shoppers Drug Mart. It's not even from the expensive section, and it's called Master Holographic, and it is so shiny and beautiful. And I'm gonna take the same fluffy brush that I used for my blush. I'm gonna rub it around nice and generously because we're drag queens, right? And I'm gonna put it underneath, right on top of that highlight so that we get that. And then the other side. And then I'm gonna put a little bit less, but still quite a bit, on my forehead. So now we're gonna do the stuff that goes underneath the eyes. I'm using this Lise Watier waterproof white eyeliner. And I'm gonna go right into the corner of my eye. I'm going to just swipe it up like this. Right into the waterline. So this is gonna create the illusion that your eyes are much bigger than they actually are. And when you're on stage and you do big exaggerated faces, it's really gonna show. And I'm gonna go underneath the glitter that we did right in the inner corner. Just gonna keep going. Nice and thick. And then other side. Now that we have our first layer of under eye white eyeliner, I'm going to take my Stila eyeliner that we used for the Batman wings, and I'm going to just draw a really tiny little triangle. So I'm going to start way almost at my nose, draw it up, and into the corner. So it's going to cover some of the white, but not all of it. I'm gonna go down the waterline about halfway, and I'm gonna blink a lot so that the end blends itself in. There we go. Other side. Start near the nose all the way up. White eyeliner, and I'm gonna go underneath that. And I'm going to cover up any imperfections and then back into the waterline again. This will help blend out the end of that eyeliner. So it's getting a little bit thicker, but we're drag queens, so we're still going to go thicker. Now we're going to take our black eyeliner pencil again, do our under eye black eyeliner. So I'm going to start lower than where my white eyeliner ends, just in case I mess it up, and I'm going to do almost a straight line. Again, not all the way at the end, a little bit in the middle. Now I have a really fat white eyeliner by NYX that I'm going to use, that I'm going to just fill in the part that's not being touched by the black eyeliner. You can just use the same eyeliner pencil if you want, but I like this one because it's big and fat and just gets it done quicker. Then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to blend out the corners. Try not to touch the black eyeliner and only touch the white eyeliner, which is kind of hard, especially when your nails are this long. I go back to my Technic palette and I'm going to use the green. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm gonna go to the darkest green. And then I'm gonna start not at the edge, but in the middle, and I'm just gonna swipe left to right very gently. Very lightly on the inner corners. I'm going to take a bit more just to darken the middle. Then I'm going to take some white and I'm just going to blend it into the bottom so that it kind of morphs in with my highlight. So white, and then blend it into the green so it morphs in with the highlight. Okay, so now that we have the green underneath our eyes, we're ready to do the lower lashes. So the way that I make my lower lashes, this is what one looks like, is I take a regular pair of lashes, like not super long ones, and I just cut them up into 6 pieces. So I'm gonna take my eyelash glue, which is Benefit Real Invisible Lash Glue. I'm gonna put it on the edge of my lash. And I'm gonna stick it right onto the black line. There we go. Then I'm gonna repeat that 5 more times. There we go. Now I'm gonna take some mascara. I don't really think it matters what kind of mascara you put on because it's gonna get covered up anyways by your false eyelashes. This one is Essence. It's like $5. I got it also at Shoppers Drug Mart. I like to use my eyelash glue to put on some gems. So I just have like gem stickers that I got at the dollar store. I'm going to take my glue, place it on a gem, and then I'm just gonna stick one into the corner of each side. This one's also going to go in the corner. Alright, so now I'm gonna put one in this big space in between my eyebrows and the darker blue eyeshadow. And I think I'm going to do another silver one. So just in that sort of clear, empty, oh no. In the clear, empty space, not right on your eyebrow. Luckily the glue takes a few seconds to dry, so you have a little bit of time if you stick them in the wrong spot to move them somewhere else. Ooh, those are pretty. Now I'm going to take a black one and I'm going to put them in the middle under each middle bottom eyelash. So there is one. And there is 2. Now I'm going to take my Stila eyeliner pencil and I'm going to do a big X in between my 2 eyebrows because I just like that style. And I'm gonna put one in my Cupid's bow. Just a little one. Like that. Now I'm going to do my lashes. These are just really big lashes that I got at the wig store. Most stores or beauty supply shops usually sell pretty eccentric eyelashes. I'm just gonna put my glue along the edge Starting with the first one. Just like this. And then while I wait for it to dry, I will do the other one. It's a good idea to wait about 45 seconds for the glue to dry, otherwise they won't stick down. The side that has a smaller edge, which is this one, is going to go on the inside. So I can't put it on this side because then the small edge would be on the outside. So I'm going to put it on this eye. I'm just going to place it down with the outer corner first. And then place the inner corner right where I want it. And I'm gonna hold it just for a few seconds so the glue can really stick on. There we go. All right. Now the last thing to do is just the little finishing touches. So I like to darken my contour a little bit for the stage. I just used these 3 dark eyeshadows and a big fluffy angle brush. And I just go in, take my stencil, line it up right with that line, and just darken my cheek contour a little bit. Just like this. Other side. Last thing before we're done is the lips. So I'm going to use this lip liner pencil by Rimmel. Make sure it's nice and sharp for when you're lining your lips. And I'm going to start with the center. So to overdraw them, I like to draw them nice and high up at the Cupid's bow. And I just make this little V shape. I'm gonna go around here, but I'm not going to go out. So I'm not gonna overdraw them horizontally, I'm just gonna overdraw them vertically. Because when you overdraw them horizontally, it's hard to get that perfect curve that goes into it. So I'm going to start here. All the way down to where my real lips end. Just like that. And then underneath. So as you can see, I'm going below my actual lips. Good. And then in the corners, I'm just gonna make it a little darker. And then I'm going to take my actual lip color, which is going to be this. It was a gift with purchase and I don't even know which brand it goes with. And I'm just gonna fill in my lips. And then I'm going to take a lighter color, which is going to be my very light pink Jeffree Star. And I'm just going to do the middle. And then squish my lips together to swirl it around. Then I'm going to go back in with my lip liner again and just clear out the edges. Now I'm going to take my setting spray by Clarins. It's my favorite one. It works very well. It's not too expensive. And I spray it like 100 times so that I know that my makeup's not going to come off. So this is our final look. Thank you for watching my very first makeup tutorial. I hope that it was at least a little bit helpful.